Have you ever woken up feeling like all the important parts of life have already happened? That the best years, the discoveries, the passion, the attention, the energy, all of it belonged to someone younger, someone you used to be. And now? Now it feels like a pause, like you're standing still. Everything is steady, yes, but inside that steadiness, there's a silence. A silence you've stopped listening to. A version of yourself you haven't heard from in years. I know that feeling well, and trust me, you're not alone. Hundreds of women I speak to as a psychologist sit across from me with that same quiet ache in their eyes. It's not weakness, it's not failure, it's simply this. You've reached the threshold, not an ending, a beginning. Because life after 45 is not a slow descent. It's an awakening if you're willing to claim it. We were raised to believe life moves like a staircase. First you're a child, then an adult, then old. And somewhere around 45, the world tells you that you're past your peak. But what if I told you that life isn't a staircase at all? What if it's a circle, and this exact part, is your return to yourself? When you no longer live for others, but for who you've become. By 45, many women feel a quiet emptiness. The children are grown or moving on. Work feels like a loop. Maybe your relationship has faded, or maybe you're alone. Your body doesn't feel like yours. Your reflection doesn't reflect how you feel inside. It's as if everything is dimming. But in truth, this is your light beginning to shift. Not disappear, just refocus. For the first time, you can live, not survive. In your 20s, you chased approval. In your 30s, you chased perfection. In your 40s, you tried to balance everyone else's needs with your own. But now you get to say, I'm tired, it's my turn. That isn't selfish, that's strength, that's freedom. You don't owe anyone anything. You're not just a mother, not just a wife, not just a caretaker. You're a woman, whole, capable, deserving. And it's time you let yourself be seen, not through your age or your wrinkles or your usefulness, but through your presence. You are not starting from zero. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are built from years of wisdom, pain, victories, heartbreak, and resilience. All of that is your foundation. And now you get to build something on top of it that is entirely, unapologetically yours. Don't ask, what do others need from me? Start asking, what do I need from myself? Maybe it's space, maybe it's rest, maybe it's wildness, maybe it's peace. Whatever it is, claim it, because the only person who can give you your life back is you. Look around. The world is changing. Women are starting businesses at 50, falling in love at 60, learning to dance at 70. Who told you you were too late? You are not late. You are right on time. You've been walking toward this version of you your whole life, and now she's finally ready to step forward. No one else will write this next chapter for you, but you can start with a single, radical question. What do I want? Not what is needed, not what is expected. What do I want? That question might terrify you. It might leave you speechless, but it will also awaken you. Because wanting is the first sign that something inside you is alive. Do you want a weekend away, alone? Do you want to take painting lessons? Do you want to say nothing for a day and not cook dinner? Allow it. Start small. But start, because your wanting, no matter how quiet, is your soul calling you back home. Your life after 45 is not what's left over. It's not a slow fade. It's not the last act. It is the real act, the part where you no longer perform, but live, with a body you know, with a heart that's endured, with eyes that finally see the truth. You don't have to be liked. You don't have to look younger. You don't have to fit in. You are allowed to be real, to be flawed, to be complex. You're allowed to say no, and you're allowed to want more. A mature woman is not a backdrop. She is the story. She is not the statistic. She is the voice. And the sooner you believe that, the sooner you'll feel the quiet return of your power. Not to fight, but to stand. This is the beginning of a conversation with yourself, the beginning of a path that will not look like anything before. Don't build it on what others expect. Don't compare. Don't shrink. Walk it, because you are no longer who you were. You are who you are becoming, and that is everything. You've spent most of your life being someone for someone else, a daughter, a partner, a mother, a grandmother. You've been the glue, the anchor, the one who holds everything together, often quietly, without applause, without pause. For years, your name came second to your role. You became his wife, her mother, their helper. And somewhere along the way, you stopped asking who you were without those titles. And now here you are. Maybe the kids are grown and gone. Maybe your partner is distant or absent. Maybe your parents are aging or gone. And for the first time in a long time, you're alone with yourself. It's quiet. It's unfamiliar. It might even feel a little scary. This moment, though, is sacred. Because beneath the uncertainty, there's a question rising to the surface. A question that has been buried under years of sacrifice and survival. Who am I, really? Not in relation to anyone else. Just me. This question isn't selfish. It's overdue. For so long, your identity was shaped by what others needed. You were the one who packed lunches, filled prescriptions, stayed up all night when someone had a fever. You were the first to say, "I'm fine," even when you weren't. You were the emotional center of your family, your job, your relationships. And you did it all with love, but also often without asking what was left for you. Now you've reached a point in life when the world gives you space, but it doesn't give you a map. It's disorienting. You have time, but you're not sure what to fill it with. You have freedom, but you feel strangely unanchored. You know what everyone else needs, but when you ask yourself what you want, there's silence. This is not failure. This is the beginning. This is the moment where you start remembering yourself, not as a role, as a woman, as a whole, vibrant, complex human being with desires, curiosities, voice, and value that extend far beyond caregiving. You are not just a mother or a grandmother. You are not just the person who makes sure everyone else is okay. You are someone worth knowing, even to yourself. There is something deeply powerful about reclaiming your identity at this age. It's not about burning bridges or breaking ties. It's about expanding the way you see yourself. You still love your family. You still want to be present for the people you care about. But now, finally, you're also allowed to ask, what about me? You can rediscover old passions. You can try new ones. Maybe you used to write, but stopped. Maybe you always wanted to dance, but felt too self-conscious. Maybe you've been curious about photography, or hiking, or gardening, or travel, or pottery, or speaking on stage. None of it is too late. None of it is foolish. You don't need to monetize it. You don't need to be the best. You just need to say yes to your own soul. So many women I speak to whisper their dreams like secrets. I've always wanted to paint. I'd love to start a blog. I've thought about taking classes, but I'm too old. and I look them in the eyes and tell them the truth. You are not too old. You are finally old enough to do it for yourself, not for approval, not for success, but for joy. And if guilt creeps in, because it always does, let's talk about it. That voice in your head that says you should be helping someone else right now. You can't afford to be selfish. What will people think? That voice is not your truth. That's conditioning. That's the residue of decades spent proving your worth by how useful you are to others. But you are allowed to exist outside of your usefulness. You are allowed to want things simply because they light you up. You are allowed to spend time, energy, and resources on yourself without apology. And no, that does not mean abandoning your family. It means expanding your definition of love to include yourself. It means understanding that when you fill your own cup, you don't become less available. You become more grounded, more joyful, more fully alive. You're no longer surviving through your identity. You're thriving through your wholeness. There's something else too. You're setting an example. Maybe for your daughters, maybe for your friends, maybe for women you've never even met who see you choose yourself and suddenly wonder if they can do the same. You are living proof that life doesn't end at 45 or 50 or 60. It deepens. And the more you live it on your own terms, the more powerful that message becomes. So I want you to ask yourself a different kind of question now. Not who do they need me to be, but who am I becoming? Not what should I be doing, but what have I always longed to do? And then, gently, steadily, start doing it. You don't have to reinvent your life in one day. You don't have to leave everything behind. But you can take small, sacred steps towards yourself. Buy the book, sign up for the class, sit quietly in the morning and ask, what would make me feel alive today? And then do that thing, even if it's just lighting a candle and sitting with your coffee in silence for 15 minutes. This is your time to return to yourself, not as a second act, as the real one. You are not just a mother or a grandmother. You're a woman with depth, wisdom, humor, sensuality, dreams, and stories still unwritten. You've spent decades giving yourself away. Now is the moment to come home to who you've always been, underneath it all. And trust me, she's worth knowing. She's radiant, and she is ready. No one warned you that your body would become a stranger. That one morning you'd wake up and something would feel off. Not sick, not broken, but different. You can't quite name it. You're tired in a new way. Your sleep is light and restless. Your skin feels thinner, your emotions sharper. There's weight in places you never had before, and no diet seems to move it. And in the middle of all this, you start to wonder, is this just aging? Is this just how it's going to be from now on? Let me tell you something no one said to you in your 20s. Your body is not betraying you. It is transforming. And like all transformations, it demands attention, tenderness, and truth. You may be in perimenopause. You may already be well into menopause. You may not know exactly where you are, because even that information is something many doctors gloss over. The world has treated women's hormones like a taboo for so long that we learn to endure instead of understand. But you deserve more than endurance. You deserve clarity. You deserve care. You deserve to look at yourself in the mirror and not see decline, but resilience. Hormonal shifts are not a flaw in the design. They are part of your evolution. They may be inconvenient, even painful, but they are not a curse. What's often worse than the physical symptoms is the isolation, the sense that no one talks about this, no one sees you in it, and you must go through it quietly, apologetically, as if this deeply natural experience were a private shame. It is not. It is yours. It is womanhood in its most powerful form, honest, raw, unapologetic. Your body is telling you something now, not that it's weak, not that it's failing, but that it needs a new kind of relationship with you. One based on listening, not fixing. One based on partnership, not punishment. For years, you may have looked at your body through the lens of how others saw it. You wanted it to be tight, small, smooth, pleasing. You judged it by numbers, on a scale, on a tag, in someone else's opinion. But now your body is asking you to view it differently, as a companion, as a survivor, as a landscape that carries your story. Do you know how much your body has carried for you? Decades of stress, caregiving, emotional labor, maybe pregnancies, maybe loss, maybe long nights sitting by someone's hospital bed, maybe days of holding back tears at work. All of it stored somewhere in your muscles, your joints, your organs, and now it's surfacing. Not to punish you, to finally be acknowledged. Your body is wiser than it's ever been, and it's asking you to catch up to that wisdom. What does that mean in real terms? It means slowing down, not because you're weak, but because you're listening. It means feeding yourself not to shrink, but to nourish. It means moving not to impress, but to reconnect. It means choosing clothes that feel good on your skin, not ones that fit someone else's version of beauty. It means asking for help when you're exhausted. It means saying no when your body says stop. It means honoring rest as much as effort. It means touch, not just from others, but from yourself. Your own hands, your own breath, your own permission to feel. And yes, it means making space for grief, because there is grief in this phase, even if no one talks about it. Grief for the younger version of you. Grief for the energy you used to have. Grief for the woman you were, before hot flashes, before forgetfulness, before the sense that your body was a puzzle you could no longer solve. That grief is real, and you're allowed to feel it. But let's not stop there, because something else is waiting for you on the other side of that grief, something so many women overlook. It's freedom, deep, spacious, radical freedom. The freedom to no longer be defined by fertility, by expectations, by physical perfection. You no longer have to be beautiful to be valuable. You don't have to be thin to be worthy. You don't have to be young to be powerful. You are not drying up. You are distilling. You are not fading. You are focusing. And with that clarity comes a new kind of fire, a fire that doesn't scream for attention, a fire that glows, that holds, that remembers who you are, even when you forget. So let's stop pretending that hormone changes are something to hide. Let's talk about what you're going through. Let's name the insomnia, the anxiety, the brain fog, the joint pain, the emotional swings. Let's stop minimizing it. Let's stop dismissing it. And let's stop settling for doctors who tell you it's just part of aging. You're allowed to demand better, better support, better information, better care, and above all, better respect for your body and what it's going through. This isn't the end of anything. It's a rite of passage, a bridge to a version of you that no longer needs to perform, only to be. So take the supplements if they help. Use hormone therapy if it's right for you. Do the yoga or the walks or the dancing in your living room, not because you're trying to get your old body back, but because you are showing your current body that you're listening. Look at yourself. Really look. That face, that skin, that heart. All of it still yours. All of it still beautiful. You're not less than who you were. You are more. You are layered. You are deep. You are still here. And that is the greatest power of all. Your body is not the enemy. It's the witness. It's been with you through everything. It deserves your love now more than ever. You don't have to love it every day, but you can stop fighting it. You can stop apologizing for it. You can start befriending it. You're not broken. You're becoming. You've spent years living according to the expectations of others, carrying burdens not meant for you alone, often feeling invisible beneath the weight of responsibility. But now, standing at this new stage of life, you have the rare and precious opportunity to redefine what power means to you. It is no longer about control or perfection, but about choosing your own path with intention and courage. You have the wisdom of experience. You've survived storms that once threatened to break you, and you've risen each time. That resilience is your greatest asset. You don't have to prove anything to anyone anymore. The years have given you permission to say no. No to toxic people, no to draining obligations, no to anything that diminishes your spirit. This is your time to listen deeply to your own voice, not the one shaped by rules, by guilt, by fear, but the true voice that knows what you need to feel alive. It might start as a whisper, a longing, a restless feeling beneath your skin. Pay attention. It's calling you to claim your life fully, unapologetically. Learning to set boundaries is one of the most radical acts of self-love you can perform. It's not selfish, it's necessary. When you protect your energy, you create space for joy, creativity, and peace. You teach others how to treat you by the standards you set for yourself. You might fear that saying no will lead to loneliness or rejection, but often the opposite happens. You attract people who respect you and your truth. You cultivate relationships based on authenticity rather than obligation. This process requires courage because it means facing old patterns and fears. It means unlearning the habit of pleasing at your own expense. It means standing firm when the voices from your past or society tell you to shrink, to quiet down, to be smaller. But inside you is a fire that refuses to be dimmed. It's the fire of knowing your worth beyond productivity, beyond appearance, beyond what you do for others. It's the fire that burns for freedom, freedom to be seen, heard, and honored as you are. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. Many women walk this path, each step a rebellion against invisibility and silence. Together, you create a community of strength and support, a sisterhood of souls who refuse to settle for less than they deserve. So, start small if you must. Practice saying no in safe spaces. Notice how your body feels when you honor your boundaries. Celebrate those moments when you choose yourself. Each one builds your courage and your confidence. You have the right to live on your own terms, to pursue what lights you up, to rest without guilt, to speak without fear, to love without conditions, including the love you give yourself. This is your revolution, quiet, steady, unstoppable. Are you ready to claim it? You wake up one morning and realize that your days no longer revolve around others' schedules and needs. The constant buzz of obligations quiets, and suddenly there is space. Space to breathe, space to think, space to be. And with that space comes the exhilarating yet terrifying question, what now? What do I do with this freedom I've earned but never truly imagined? The truth is, You've never been just the roles you played: the caregiver, the employee, the wife, the mother, the friend. All these were parts of your life, but they never defined your entirety. Now, with those chapters evolving or closing, you stand before a blank canvas, paintbrush in hand, ready to create without limits or apologies. This stage of life offers a unique kind of creativity. It's not about fitting into trends or pleasing the crowd. It's about discovering what moves you, what sparks joy, curiosity, or even just peace. Maybe you've always dreamed of writing, but never dared. Maybe you crave adventure, but felt tied down. Maybe you want to learn something new, or finally say yes to yourself without hesitation. Your years have gifted you with a profound understanding of who you are. You know your strengths, your quirks, your passions. You've learned to navigate hardships and celebrate small victories. This self-awareness is your greatest tool in crafting a life that feels meaningful and authentic. It's natural to hesitate. The voice of doubt can be loud. Is this the right time? What if I fail? What will others think? But remember, these fears are just thoughts, not facts. They don't have to dictate your choices. Every step you take toward yourself weakens their hold and strengthens your resolve. Surround yourself with encouragement. Seek out communities of like-minded women who uplift rather than judge. Share your hopes, your struggles, your successes. Connection breeds courage. When you see others stepping into their truth, it lights the path for you too. Start with small acts of self-discovery. Take a class, join a club, travel to a new place, or simply carve out time each day to listen to your inner voice. Notice what makes you smile, what energizes you, what calms your mind. This is your season to bloom in your own way, at your own pace. There's no rush on, no deadline, no need to prove anything. The only expectation is that you honor yourself fiercely and kindly. Remember, you are not starting over, you are continuing with wisdom, grace, and newfound freedom. Your life is an unfolding story, rich with possibility and purpose, and the best chapters are yet to be written. Embrace this moment. Trust in your strength. Believe in your worth. Because you are ready, more than ready. You have journeyed through decades of roles, expectations, and challenges, often putting everyone else's needs before your own. But now, standing here, you see clearly. The most important relationship you have is the one with yourself. This is the moment where you choose to honor that truth, to live fully, fiercely, and freely. Life after 45 is not a quiet fading. It's a vibrant awakening. It's the time when your accumulated wisdom becomes your compass, your resilience becomes your strength, and your desires become your guide. You are no longer confined by the limitations imposed by others or by society's narrow definitions. You have the power to define what joy, purpose, and love mean for you. Remember, this journey is not about perfection or doing it all. It's about authenticity. It's about listening to your inner voice, even when it whispers softly amid the noise of the world. It's about embracing your imperfections and celebrating your unique story. You are a work in progress, beautifully complex, and wonderfully alive. In this new season, give yourself permission to say no without guilt and yes without fear. Surround yourself with people who see and support the real you. Pursue passions that light your soul on fire, no matter how small or grand. Rest when you need to, and move when you feel called. Trust your body, your mind, and your spirit. They have carried you this far and will carry you further. You are not alone. There is a sisterhood of women walking this path alongside you, each rewriting her story with courage and grace. Together, you create a tapestry of strength and inspiration that defies age and expectation. So step forward with confidence. Your life is not a story told by others, but a narrative authored by you. Write it boldly, with compassion and courage. Your best chapters are unfolding now. You deserve this. You are ready. And the world awaits the gift of your authentic self.